Hey, BookTube, this is Friday Reads. I am Jen, and I talk about audiobooks. And this Friday, I'm wrapping up just 2 books from last week. I can't believe I only read 2 books when I've been on this, tear of reading 4 books a week. And these were took a little longer to get through, and that was fine. 2 books is fine. I didn't finish anything in print, but I did finish 2 audiobooks. So the first one was That Wedding. This is by Jillian Dodd, and it is book 2 in the That Boy series. It's narrated by Cordelione, and I cannot rave enough about how fantastic Cordelione was. Mainly because she just embodies this main character. This main character is named Jaden James Reynolds, and she is quite a personality. And the book starts with her fiance proposing to her, and then it goes throughout their journey to the wedding. And at the end of the book, it culminates in their wedding. Well, I ended up giving this book 3.5 stars and rounding it up to 4, because on Goodreads you have to round up or round down. And I think it is the 4 side of 3.5 stars, but I still think it's in the 3s, because so much of this book was these 2 characters, the main character of Jaden and her fiance Philip, not being able to keep their hands off each other. And I think that's great. They were in love and ready to get married, and all this great stuff was going on, but I could have done with a little less of that, a little bit less. There are a few poignant moments, especially towards the end, when Jaden starts to figure out that she really hasn't dealt with her parents' death, and she needs to do that. That's an important emotional thing for her to be able to get through before she really commits herself to be married. So that was good. There are some hilarious moments. 2 or 3 where I was just laughing out loud. Like screaming with laughter. They were so funny. This character is just so enjoyable. And like I say, Cordelione just embodies her. So really fun book. I wish that Jillian Dodd had gone a little more had gone a little bit beyond. We're going to watch football. We're going to go to the bar and drink with our friends, and I can't wait to get home and be with my fiance. I wish we had gone a little beyond that. And I think in the next book, this is a trilogy, and the next book is That Baby. I think that she's going to do that. So I don't know. This character is such that you kind of get your fill and need to take a break from her. So I'm planning on doing that. I probably won't pick up That Baby for a little while, because I kind of need a break. She's like a force of nature. So like I say, gave it 3.5 stars, rounded it up to 4. The other book I finished was What Could Possibly Go Wrong? This is The Chronicles of St. Mary's, book 6 by Jodie Taylor, narrated by Zara Ramm. And book 6 in the series, a lot has happened. This series is about St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is kind of like an institute where they do historical research. They go back in time to historical events to document the event, because history is so often told from the perspective of the victor. So they get the straight story, and they write it all down and everything. Well, they're very British, very British. And every time they travel, it's an adventure. And Max is the main character. And Max has been injured at this point. She's had some things happen. She's been shot, and something happened to her leg. I think she broke her leg or something. I can't remember now what. But she's kind of had to back away from her normal job of going on these trips to the past and, being an active historian and interacting with things, because something always goes wrong. And so because of that, she swaps jobs with the guy who trains everybody. And so the book a lot of it is her learning how to train the trainees who are learning how to be historians. So it was really good. And there's one absolute laugh out loud moment that I'm just going to play for you here.
There was the usual healthy bickering over who was responsible for making the tea. "Actually," said Hoyle, "can I have coffee? I don't like tea." The world stopped spinning on its axis. 10 people eyed him, with expressions ranging from condemnation to compassion via outright bewilderment. "Was it when you were in America?" asked Roberts, sympathetically. "Did they make you drink coffee there?" "No, I didn't like tea before I went to America. Never have." "So you don't drink tea at all?" persisted Roberts, adrift in the unknown. "No." "Why not?" "Well, it tastes awful." 10 people recoiled at this heresy. Sands tightened his grip on his mug, as if fearing it would be torn from him and coffee would suddenly become compulsory. Hoyle seemed unaware of the consternation around him, calmly spooning coffee into a mug and topping it up with boiling water. I watched him as he sat quietly, sipping his devil's brew, and as
Now, I am a coffee lover, so I was screaming with laughter about that. I just thought it was hysterical. So if that gives you kind of a taste of what these books are like, I hope it does, because, oh my gosh, they're so worth reading. They're just so much fun. So 4.5 stars. I rounded that one up to 5. I don't know that it was amazing, but it was definitely a 4.5 star book. So now I am currently reading I'm trying to knock things off of my currently reading list on Goodreads. And I have had White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout on there for a while. And I forget who narrates that. I'll put it here on the screen, but you know, I have to say, I was bullied. I was bullied into reading this book by my dear friend Michaela, and she will laugh when she hears that. But yeah, she said, "Oh, it's so silly and fun, and you'll love it." And I thought, okay. So I was kind of rolling my eyes as I listened, and then I kind of got into it. And now I can't wait to find out what happens. It's kind of, it's YA and it's gargoyles, and there's a little bit of a love triangle going on. And there's this girl, she's half guardian, like the gargoyles are guardians, or no, they're wardens. That's what they're called. And they're like guarding the human population from demons. And so you have your demons, and then you have your wardens, and the wardens always go out to send the demons back to hell. And she's half and half, of course. And so she's been living with wardens for a long time, and some stuff is happening. And so there's a boy who is a demon, but he seems like a good guy, so go figure. So anyway, I think his true colors are going to show. But I'm invested at this point. I think I'm going to go for the whole trilogy. So we'll see. I don't know. I can't believe that I'm really that interested, but I really am. So anyway, I'm listening to that. Then I am also, I picked up, this is not on my currently reading list for Goodreads, but I picked up Let the Wind Rise. This is by Shannon Messenger, and I read the first book, which is, what is the first book? Let the Sky Fall. And I loved it. It's YA, paranormal, great characters, narrated by Nick Podehl and somebody else, and I loved it. So this is the second book, which is this is the third book. This is the second book, Let the Storm Break. And then, so I've read the first and second books because they're on audio, but this one, the third book, is not on audio. Well, I saw Shannon Messenger at the Tucson Books Festival earlier this year. And so I got all 3 books, and I had her sign them. And I never really got to this one. It's mainly because I had to pick it up and read it in print. And so I did. I picked it up. I also have it as an ebook. I borrowed it. And so I started reading it and realized I had no idea what was going on. So I needed to go back and refresh my memory. So I went back and I picked this one up, and I read, kind of skim read, and kind of caught myself up with the characters and what's going on. And so now I'm starting back into this. So I'm listening to that, or I'm not listening, I'm reading that on my iPad. And then just a day or so ago, this new book came out, and I was able to grab it on Kindle Unlimited. It is Peripeteia, and it is by Sarah Lyons Fleming. It is book 2 in the City series. Oh my gosh. This is that follow-up series to Until the End of the World, which is all the adult zombies that I always talk about. Yeah, Can't wait to get into this. I really wish this was on audio. She said that's going to take probably a couple of months. And that happens very often with self-published books. So I'm willing to wait. I can give them that because it's going to be worth it. I'll probably listen to it too. I don't know if I'll get much of it read, but at least I have it to read. At least it's sitting there. So that was my week. That's my weekend. And I would love to know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. Let's talk about all that in comments. I am going to go enjoy some hot, humid weather because I love it. I love it when it's hot and humid out. My husband is going, you are crazy. Give me 75 degrees and no humidity. And I'm like, go ahead. I want to go live at the beach where it's always hot and humid. I don't know. How could we possibly be married and stay married? And somehow, yet we do, you know? So anyway, have a great weekend and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.